Hello, everybody. Yesterday, we had the East Coast journalist, troublemaker, Jamie Kirchick, an old friend of mine on the show. He had a op-ed in the New York Times last week. A chill has fallen over Jews in publishing. The endless debate, of course, about Jews and Zionism in America is explosive and very relevant today. At one point, I asked him about the origins of anti-Semitism. I brought up a rather unusual figure, an Italian footballer, soccer player called Mario Balotelli, always in trouble, a black Italian footballer, didn't quite fit in any sense, always in trouble with everyone. And anytime he got into trouble, he used to take off his shirt and reveal a T-shirt underneath, which said, "Why always me?" Perhaps Jews might wear the same T-shirt. When I asked Jamie the origins, why anti-Semitism, this is what he responded.
Types of anti-Semitism and various reasons for them. I think the sort of left-wing progressive anti-Semitism that is going on in the publishing world that I wrote about has a lot to do with this Manichaean oppressor versus oppressed ideology that we've been hearing about for a long time. And the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is seen through this very simple prism of Israel being portrayed as a colonial occupier. Israelis are seen as the white country in like apartheid South Africa, never mind the fact that most Israelis would not pass for white in any Western country. But Israel fits that role of the white country, the Palestinians of the brown country. And in this very simplistic hierarchy that the left has created, the whites are at the top, and the browns or the blacks, the dark-skinned people are at the bottom. And that's how they see it. It's very simple.
The Jews, then, according to Jamie, are the new whites. And I wonder whether my guest today, Shane Burley, he's also writing about anti-Semitism, would agree. He has a new book out. He's co-authored, Safety Through Solidarity, a radical guide to fighting anti-Semitism. He wrote it with Ben Lorber. And the book begins with an explanation, a history of the origins of anti-Semitism. Shane is joining us from Portland, Oregon. Shane, what do you make of Jamie Kirchick's argument that a lot of anti-Semitism today could be understood in the sense that the Jews are
that we largely disagree on? So it is true that anti-Semitism works a little differently than other forms of bigotry or oppression because it is largely a conspiracy theory about what we call punching up. So it's a framing Jews as a part of an elite case that's actually controlling politics and finance. And therefore, when you are expressing that, it may actually take the form of like a kind of ground up rebellion. So it may actually feel populist. It may even feel anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist. But as we talk about in the book, it's a false pathway for that, right? That doesn't actually express it because that's not how the world works. The difference, I think, with what your guest was saying, though, is that when we're talking about Israel-Palestine, we're talking about very specific politics. We're talking about very specific histories. And just as simplistic as he suggests the left interprets it, I would say that his characterization of the left's response to Israel-Palestine is equally sort of immature. The reality is that, like right now, as we're tens of thousands of people dead in the Israel-Palestinian conflict, or just this past year, I think we have to look a lot more seriously about what's happening there and recognize the power differential and the history that led to it.
You talk about something called the power differential. One thing that Jamie said, and I'm quoting him, he said, "Meritocracy has been good for the Jews," which was, I guess, a euphemism